Hello to all the rainmakers out there. This is Byron Belka, and I'm excited to be able to spend some time again to focus on some of the principles of the business and the rain cycle. I'm calling in from beautiful Springville, Utah today, just here at the corporate headquarters in the office, and this is a great way for me to start off my week each week as well. I love doing this because it gets me to focus on the basics and realize with all the things and the madness and things that are going on, this industry and this business really is simple. It's very, very simple. And for us to see long-term success, really what it takes is a large group of people doing simple actions over a long period of time. And it's never one big, huge, grandiose thing usually. And so the thing that I love about the rain cycle is we get back to the basics. We get to the core and what it is that the people need to be focusing on to build their business, and not just build it for this week, but to build something that has a foundation to be able to continually move forward, to be able to grow, and to do what we're talking about here and create that lifestyle for people that they're after. And as we talk about that, you guys, I know that everybody comes from different backgrounds. We have different successes and different goals and different failures in our lives, but we all come, whatever has brought you to this point, whatever's brought you to rain. Guys, this convergence of all these people and their experience and their backgrounds, we can come here and we can use the power of the product and the power of this compensation plan in the industry to go out there and help people get what they want, out of life. And you help people get what they want, and you're going to end up getting what you want. I'm sure you've heard that before, but it's true, guys. What you give always comes back. And so tonight what we're going to focus on is just that, the last point of the whole rain cycle, which is the lifestyle. Okay, and as we get into this, once again, I'm going to have you turn to your booklets. If you haven't printed those out of the back office, make sure that you do. And the reason I like to take you right to the source is so that you can see exactly what you need to do, not only for yourself, but what you need to do with your people and your teams as you're training them, as you're teaching them on this rain cycle. And just remember, guys, this is not a sales business. We're not here to sell anybody. Always remember, this is a teaching and training business, and what we teach and train are simple systems of duplication. So what we're going to do is turn to the lifestyle section that starts on page 29 in your rain cycle booklet that you can download, like I said, from the back office. Now, what is different about this industry, guys? It's not like a job that you can turn on and you can turn off. Okay? And it needs to become more of a lifestyle. It needs to become you and who you are. As you're talking to people and meet people in the grocery store, as you're on vacation. With your family, with your friends. This is, rain is to me, it's more than, it's not a business, guys. This truly is an opportunity and a lifestyle that we're offering people. And so what we can do is we can place our passion, we can replace our enthusiasm, we can create a culture that it's almost like a living organism within our groups and within our cultures. Okay, and based on your dream lifestyle, you're able to make it happen through, like I said, daily routines in this business. And what we're looking for, what we want to offer people is, no matter what your goals are, no matter what you're after in life, we want Rain International to be that safe haven, a rock where you can build that foundation that you can build your dreams upon. Okay, and that's the whole thing about this being a lifestyle. There's people that go to work and they clock in and they come home, and there's two separate lives there, guys. The difference between this industry is it kind of, over time, whether you want it to or not, it kind of becomes one. Okay? And it really is, who you are and who we are. And so the thing that I like here is this next part is asking that question, are you Rain? Because our goal is, guys, it's not just about one person. It's about all of us doing a little bit, not just over a long period of time, but all over the world as well, guys. There's things that are going on in Asia that are helping to build up Rain. There's things that are going on in the U.S. and in Canada that are building up Rain. There's things that are going on in Europe that are building up rain, and there's things that are going on in your individual lives that you are, once again, you are the culture, and you are this living organism that we have within this business. And that's the thing that I love about this, is it isn't just a job. Okay, so here's the question. Are you rain? What does it take to be rain? And what we've put in this in this training manual is some things that you can do to make sure that you're being rain. And one of the things is you got to make sure that you have rain products on you wherever you go. You never know when you're going to run into that person that you're going to talk to. Maybe it's on a bus. Maybe you never know. You need to make sure that you have product and you're prepared at all times. One of my favorite things to do, and every time I go to the gym, I make sure that I have at least one packet in my pocket. Okay, and so when I'm at the gym and I'm working out, I always will pull that out, and I'll open it up and I'll drink it in front of everybody. Okay, and everybody knows that that's what I do. Okay, and it not only am I prepared because I have product on me and in my car wherever I'm going, but guys, it's a way to start conversation. People asking you what it is, what you're doing, because it is, once again, guys, it's not. This is part of my lifestyle. Taking soul is part of my lifestyle. It's what I do 2 to 3 times a day at least. I usually take at least 2 or 3 packets a day. That's just part of my regimen. It's part of my lifestyle. It's who I am. Okay, and that's one of the things that I think is important, to be rain. Another thing that you need to do is brand yourself with rain swag. I mean, and you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna be pretty excited about what's going to be launched right here. You're gonna see things come up. I know if you go into the swag section or the tools and that type of section right now, as far as being able to buy shirts and hats and business cards and all those types of things, we have everything designed. We've just been waiting to get it all in stock to be able to put that up. And you should see something by the end of the week, which I'm pretty excited about. But if I'm going to go somewhere, this is my business that I'm going to promote. I can promote somebody else's brand, but why would you want to promote somebody else's brand when you're trying to create a culture and build your own brand? Okay, brand yourself with rain swag. I mean, whether it's shirts, hats, business cards, T-shirts, and it's something that I think strikes up conversation as well. But if you're going to be building a business, once again, I mean, I know sometimes, I won't, like I said, if I get, very, very rarely do you see me sitting down watching TV. And a lot of times, sometimes my wife gets into these reality shows and stuff like that. But you know what? And one of the reasons I don't, even sporting events, I love a good sporting event now and again, but I don't get consumed with them. And the reason being is because if I'm sitting there watching it, I'm building their dream. If I'm sitting there, watching some show about some reality person doing this or doing that, I'm in their life instead of building my own. Guys, we need to be building our own life. We need to be building our own business. We need to be promoting who we are. And we can do that by branding ourselves. That's just one of the ways. Another thing is, you need to attend our rain events and let those around you know about it. Okay, if there's an event going on, it's a weekly event, people should know that, on Wednesday nights you're busy because that's where you're going, whether they're in the business or not. You go to rain events because it's your business. Okay, you don't show, if there's an event, you're there. When I first got into this business, that was one of the things that my mentor taught me, is, Byron, it's not about you. But how can you expect people to be in those seats, people in your team and your organization, if you're not there? We used to do a weekly or a monthly training every single month. We called it our fly-in when I first got into this industry. And they would say the same, almost the exact same things every single month. I mean, I could almost give somebody else's presentation verbatim because I'd heard it so many times. But you know what? I was still there, and my mentor was there, and he sat on the front row, and he didn't text, and he didn't go in the hall and talk and call on the phone, and he was there, and he was focused, and he was attentive, and the reason he did that is because he was a leader. As you can't expect your people to do things that you're not willing to do. We need to make sure that if we're rain, if you're being rain, okay, you're at rain events. If there's a corporate event, you're there. Okay, if it costs a little money, you're there. If you can, if there's something that you can do not all our events, some of our things that we do. I mean, obviously you can just show up, but guys, you're there no matter what. Okay, so make sure that you always have something to hand out or with you. And so some of the things that some of the brochures that you can download in the back office right now. Obviously, we have more that are coming out as well as we're working with our new doctors. And guys, this is the first announcement. We're going to be having next week a webinar that's specifically with the doctors that you want to make sure you're on and you let your people know about. We're going to announce that, and it's going to be fantastic. Some of the new brochures and things that we're going on with some of the new doctors and scientists that we're working with are just going to expand on what we already know and love about the company and about Soul. But always have something on you, guys, that you can hand to somebody. If you don't have business cards, make sure you have a brochure that you print, even if you print it out of the back office. Make sure that you have something that you can hand somebody. And, I tell people you need to be doing at least 4 presentations a week if you're building this thing. Okay, 4 presentations a week. How long does it take for a presentation for you to do one? Okay, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. If you got to travel here or there. Somebody's telling me that they're doing this even part-time, putting 12 hours a week in. How are you putting 12 hours a week in if you're not doing any present? There's no way that you're spending your time effectively. So if you're putting 4 hours or doing a minimum of 4 presentations a week, I'm going to say you're RAIN. Hey, you're RAIN. You're out there doing it. To be RAIN, you need to be on an active autoship of at least 100 CV or more monthly. Because once again, it's not just about you. I mean, 1 box isn't enough for me. But even if somebody's only taking a packet a day, you still need some to share. You still need some to hand out, have in your pocket. Make sure that you're building your business. Okay, and then you need to read some of the RAIN cycle recommended books and tapes, at least 20 minutes a day. And you guys, we have something that we're updating, that we're putting on the back office. Just basically, we're checking with all the different languages and all the markets that we're in, trying to see what are some of the common books that we can make this more of a universal thing. And then obviously there'll be other things as well. But guys, you need to make sure that you're taking the time to get yourself to that point, where you're becoming that professional. And it happens, like I said, it happens a lot of times without us really realizing it because we're doing the simple basic things. But I want you to ask yourself, are you RAIN? And if you're not RAIN, if you're not doing all these things on this page, I want to extend an invitation for you to do that. Because I can tell you, when you do that, once you get it out to the world and once you get it out to the universe, this is what you're doing. This is where you're going. I'm RAIN. As it's weird what happens and how people are brought to you and how conversations are brought up, and you're just doing the right things. Okay, so one of the things that I want to focus on this lifestyle is making sure that you're setting realistic expectations and goals. Now, we talk about goal setting and those types of things, but you need to understand, anytime somebody comes into this business and they do amazing things right out the gate, of course, as a company, we're going to edify them. Of course, as a company, we're going to say how neat they are because it's not the norm. Okay, there are people that are going to come and do it, but you got to understand you can't compare yourself to other people, and that's one of the things about this. And I think it's just life. It might not even be this. It's life that we always compare ourselves to others, and sometimes people are sitting there crawling and they see somebody sprinting. And they're frustrated that they're not sprinting. Well, do you know what? The reason that person's sprinting is because they've already learned how to crawl and then walk and then run and then sprint. Okay, maybe it wasn't in RAIN. Maybe it was in a different industry. Okay, but you can't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to yourself. Set realistic expectations. This is not a get-rich-quick program. What it is it's a get-rich-quicker program. And what I mean by that, it's not a get-rich-quick thing where you get in, you're going to make millions and do nothing for it. But it is a get-rich-quicker program because it's not the traditional way where you go and you grind it and you work 30, 40, 50 years, and then maybe you have something at the end of it where you can go spend 3 to 5 years doing the things you want with who you want and those types of things. What we're doing is, how about we reverse that, guys? How about you get the blinders on and you get focused? Okay, and you be RAIN and you go out there, and for the next 2 to 5 years, you do whatever you got to do, and you're focused so that you can get to that point for the next 40 years you can do what you want. Okay, we're trying to turn the tables. So even though this isn't a get-rich-quick program, it is a get-rich-quicker. Okay, anybody that comes in and tells you that you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow, I'm going to tell you that they're not telling you the truth. Guys, this is business, and it takes some time sometimes. You have learning curves to go over. You have things you need to learn. We need to work on ourselves. We need to increase our skill sets. And this, it's just, just like any industry that you're in. I mean, if you go and got a job at McDonald's, you're going to have a couple weeks of training, and that's exactly what we're talking about here, is make sure that it's realistic. Okay, an unreasonable goal would, like I said, be let's make $1 million tomorrow. What I want you to do is, guys, set realistic goals, stuff that you can hit, that you can reach, that stretch you. Okay, the next step I want you to focus on is seek the right people and be the right person. And what I mean by that is, guys, we attract people. We attract the same types of people. And we need to be the type of person we want in our business. We need to lead by example. We need to be positive and loyal. Okay? And you need to set the standard on how you want your team to be. Okay? And if you're that person, once again, you're going to attract those types of people. But you need to understand there's some basics of the business, and it's not just network marketing, but we use this a lot in network marketing, is if you run into something negative, and whether it's business or life, you're always going to do that. But I'm just going to teach you a principle. If it's really, really exciting, you can share it with everybody. Your upline, your downline, your sideline. If something negative happens, guys, you share up. You share with your upline. You don't share with your downline. Not that we're trying to keep things a secret, but you don't want to poison somebody's attitude. And they have no control over it. It's like complaining about the rain. Okay, if nobody can do anything about it, you can't stop it, then why be negative about it? Even if you have somebody in your upline, let's say you have a sponsor that you don't think is doing a very good job. I mean, guys, I've been doing this a long time. I've been in the field. I understand. I've never had a sponsor in all my years of doing network marketing that really helped me. That's just my lot, I guess. That's how it was for me. But you know what? You are the upline. You are the leader. You be that person. But here's the thing. If you have somebody above you that's not doing it the way that you think or not giving you the support, if you talk negative about that person to everybody in your downline, you know what? They have lost all credibility. So now when they come into town, and let's say they change their attitude or they're in a better situation, because maybe it's financially. Maybe they financially couldn't afford to go traveling everywhere, and their business is to a point where now they can do that. Okay, you're not going to have any power in having them stand in front of your team because you've already demoted them. You've already done that. These are some basics in the business that we need to focus on, and that is seek the right people and be the right person. Lead by example. All right. So what you need to do is integrate this business into your life. Find ways to connect other things in your life into to what you're doing. If you like music, incorporate that. If you like sports, incorporate that. If you like running, incorporate. How can you incorporate rain into things that are you and what you do, even outside of the so-called workplace, even though the workplace for us is a little bit different. Okay, this is like I said, it's a social thing. It's not just about building business. It's about building a team and a culture. So hold events, do meetups or meetings with your group centered on rain. Get people that you work with to go out and have some fun. Do some entertaining activities. And that's why I like the 2 or 3 day events that when we do them, because obviously we learn a lot, but we have fun, guys, and we get to see that we create these relationships. We create these bonds that are stronger than a lot of the other things that people normally deal with in a business, because those aren't there. And that's what we're talking about making this part of your life, making it a lifestyle. Remember that you're building a business within a business. Okay, even though that this is Rain International, you're still building your own business within Rain International. We've just set up the opportunity for you and the tools for you to go out and do that. Okay, you always want to stay part of the Rain culture, so I'm not saying go break off and do your own thing. Okay, but you still can create a culture within your team. And one of the things, like when I was building the business, my culture of my team was you show up at events. Everybody shows up at events. That was just what we did. We were some of the best dressed people at an event. When we go to an event, I mean, I'm young. I don't always like to put on the suit and tie. I don't always like to do that. But when an event comes, do you know what? Me and my team, they know we dress up. We're there. We dress up. We take it serious. And those were some things that we just created in our culture, that when it was time to work, we worked hard. And when it was time to play, we played hard. So what are the things that you want to establish in your organization? What's the culture that you want to have? Because this truly is a business within a business. Okay, don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. Don't wait, guys. This is something that you have control over. Be the leader. As we say, the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So be that person. Create your own speed. Create your own culture. So the next thing that I focus on here is review your goals and have accountability. Okay, so as you grow and develop as a professional, things are going to change. And not only are things going to change in your personal life, but things are going to change in your business life and in your organization. It's different when you're managing tens of thousands of people all over the world than when you just have a small team of 4 or 5 people. When you start, you're going to do things differently. So what you need to do is constantly reevaluate where you're at, your goals and your dreams, the obstacles that come up. What is it and the reason that I bring up the obstacles is not to focus on what's negative, but to focus on how to get around them, what we need to do to get to that next step, to go to the next place that's higher up on where we want to be and closer to our goals. What do we need to do? Because my mentor used to always tell me is all distractions are equal. It doesn't matter what it is. When it's time and it's a critical time frame, all distractions are equal. All right? So get rid of distractions. The richest people in the world solve problems. That's what they do. They're problem solvers. When an obstacle comes, they're figuring out how they can overcome it. Because, guys, this is life. And I wish I could tell you in Ring International that we're never going to have any issues or problems. I wish that could be the case. But you know what? Every single business out there, every single family out there, every single person out there has problems. Okay, and so that's just how it goes. The question is what are we willing to do when those problems arise? What's our commitment level to our company, to ourselves, our dreams, our team? What is it? Are we going to overcome? Okay, because that's the attitudes that we need to have. When the obstacles come up, stay focused and remember that all distractions are equal. And I love that. And the quote that says, or this last part that says, the richest people in the world are problem solvers. And most of them don't even look at it as a problem. They look at it as just an obstacle or something they need to overcome. So as we focus on our SEEDS system, which is keeping it simple, effective, educational, duplicable, and make sure that it's always a system, remember that anything you do in your team, when you're creating your cultures, anything you do, you need to ask yourself the question, not does it work, but does it duplicate? And what I mean by that is even if you're having, a weekly meeting, okay, and people show up and you have all this food and drinks and all this type of stuff, okay, you might be able to financially afford that. But can others? Okay, can others? Everything you do, you need to ask yourself, not does it work, but does it duplicate? Because if the masses can't do it, guys, we shouldn't be doing it. We shouldn't be doing it because it's not going to duplicate and it's not going to grow effectively like it should. And so, I mean, a lot of times when I'm in building mode and I'm out building, you'll see I'll throw out a whiteboard and I'll draw the presentation. I'll hand out brochures, and usually in bigger meetings or hotel meetings is when I'll pull out the projector. And the reason being is I don't want people to think that they need a laptop and a projector to do this business. Okay, if you have a laptop and a projector, that's fantastic. Okay, but if somebody just got in this business and they're looking at what they need to go out there and they need to go invest into this and go invest into that, guys, let's show them how we can make a simple flip chart and they can share the presentation. How they can just have the 7 ways to make money and go over the compensation plan. How they can take a brochure and talk about the product. Okay, how they can do it very, very simplistically. Like I said, when I do home meetings, it's a whiteboard. I pull out a whiteboard. I mean, it's the projector and stuff is too big usually anyway. Okay, and the reason I do that is because it's more economical for people. People can go out there and buy a whiteboard easier than they can go out there and buy a projector and a laptop and an iPad and everything else that they think that they need. All right? So we want to make sure that everything that we're doing in life doesn't confuse or doesn't isolate our team. And now, here's why the system is so important, as you see on this bottom thing. Let's say that you think you have a better idea on how to do a system. Let's say you do. Well, my mentor used to tell me, Byron, make your first $1 million my way. And then if you want to change anything, you can change it after you've made $1 million. But I know my way works. And until you've made $1 million, don't change anything. Okay, even though I might have some ideas, and I was a little bit younger than he was, and I was thinking, well, maybe I could do this, it would work with the younger groups and all that type of stuff. I did it his way, and guess what? I hit the top level of my first company in 2 years. Under 2 years, when I was 26 is when I started, in 28 I hit the top level. So his way worked. Okay, but here's what happens. If you change, let's say you're doing things in your group and the company, we're doing things a certain way. And if you change that, then you know what you just did without even knowing it? Is you caused isolation from all the resources and all the people that can help you. You can't have your upline come and talk to your people now if you're doing it differently, because they're just going to confuse them. Okay? You can't have all your people go to a corporate event and learn about all these tools and other ways that people are doing it, because it's just going to confuse them, because that's not the way you do it. So if you come up with your own system, okay, and it's not something that the masses in the group is doing, I'm just going to tell you, it's going to hinder your duplication. Okay? If you're at the top level of the company and like you're seeing success, like I said, and you're making a lot of money, maybe at that point, usually when my business is growing, what I'll do is, if somebody has hit the top level of the company and they come to me and they say, I want to do this a little bit different and break off, I mean, they're a big person now in the business. If that's what they decide they want to do, I'm still going to tell them it's probably better. It's going to be a lot more work if you do it all by yourself, because you're going to have to create all these tools and all these systems, because, if we're doing it differently, you can't confuse your people. Okay? But so many times people are like, well, you know what, I think it would be better if I did my opportunity presentation this way. Or I think it would be better if I threw these 5 slides in there. Or, guys, we got to standardize things. Standardize things, because when they're standardized, it duplicates. When we try to reinvent the wheel or do our own thing, we can cause confusion. Okay? And we can cause isolation without even knowing it. So something to keep tabs on and making sure that we're doing, like I said, if we're creating this lifestyle, the reason I'm talking about some of these key points is because the lifestyle that you want, there's 2 types of network marketers. You either have somebody, and I call them the Superman, where they do everything. They're the ones on the stage. They're the ones, they do everything. They're the Superman. And if that person's not around, nothing happens. And even though they might be making a lot of money, it's all about them, because they don't have duplicated leadership in their teams. And so you have the Superman, it's all about that person. And like I said, I've seen some of these people in the industry, they make huge incomes, but they can never go on vacation, because they've made it all about themselves, and they've made them the issue. And so if they're not around, things don't happen. And then you have the other person that I call, the other networker that I call, drinking out of the coconut on a beach network marketer. Now this person made it about the systems. They made it about, they made it about the duplication. They didn't make it about them. I mean, the goal here is to help our teams grow. To create this lifestyle for ourselves, which in turn they're going to, and once again, do you think people are going to be mad at you when you work really, really hard for the next 5 years and then you're able to sit on a beach? They shouldn't be, because that's what that's what hopefully that maybe they want too, that freedom. That's what we talk about here, guys, is freedom. And if we do it right, and like I said, in the company that I was a part of when I first started in this industry, it was $1 billion company, and I saw both types of networkers. I saw the Supermen that had to do everything. They'd been in the industry, some of them for 15 years, making 6-figure a month incomes, but they couldn't slow down. Then I saw other ones that were making high six-figure incomes, and maybe I would see them at the big events, because they always still came to the events. They'd always do the main things. But besides that, guys, they were living the lifestyle. They were living the dream. They had duplicated themselves. They had put in the time and energy and built it right and paid their dues and made it about systems and not about themselves. And because of that, they were able to live that lifestyle. Okay, so that's another thing that I want you to point out as we're talking about lifestyle. Make sure that you're not making it all about you. Okay, make sure that you're building the leadership in your teams and your organizations. Make sure that you're following something that doesn't isolate you and your team from the rest of the group or the rest of the company. Okay, because it happens more often than you know. And people think that they're smart and they're going to go out there and they're going to do something different and better than everybody else. But I've seen it fall. I've seen people fall on their face so many times because of that. Because what happens is a lot of times their groups, maybe they think it's a good idea, and their teams at first start to follow them, but then after a while they don't like that idea anymore. They see what other people are doing, they see what other teams are doing, other groups, and they want to be a part of it. So be careful there. All right, so let's talk about the whole apprenticeship process of building this leadership. And as I've already talked about, the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So set the pace for your team. And you got to make sure that you have somebody that you're accountable to. So it helps you grow the business quicker. It doesn't even need to be your upline, but you need to find that partner. Maybe it's somebody in your downline. Maybe it's somebody in your sideline. But you need to find that partner that you have, you can hold each other accountable with. And you need to set up a weekly time with your upline or with somebody that for accountability, and search for that mentor. And here's one of the things that I tell people. Okay, if you're a silver, try to find somebody who's gold. Okay, if you're a gold, try to go upline and find somebody who's platinum. I'm not saying don't consult with your sponsor still. But here's what I am saying. Maybe you're full-time and your sponsor's part-time. Maybe you hit a higher rank faster than they do. It doesn't mean that they have less value. It doesn't mean that we don't value their opinion. But you know what? If you want to learn how to be a gold when you're a silver, you need to talk to a gold. If you want to know how to be a platinum when you're a gold, you can't talk to a senior manager. Okay, and get that type of advice. Now, if your sponsor is a senior manager, you still want to consult with them. You still want to talk to them. You don't want to just bypass them. But you know what? If you're trying to hit that next rank, talk to the people that are at that rank. And you want to do that. And then obviously do the same thing on your team. You want to be cautious and make sure you're always matching energy for energy. Which means if you go out there and you help somebody and you put time and energy in, you need to see it reciprocated. They need to put that same time and energy into their business. And so this is where I talk about playing ping pong, right? I use the analogy of ping pong. And what I mean by that is I like to play ping pong. And so, in ping pong, I hit the ball over the net, and then the person hits it back. And, if they want to play just a casual, easy game, I'll just hit it back and forth, and I'm matching energy for energy, right? If they want to go fast, I'll play fast. If they want to play hard, I'll play hard. But you know what? If I hit the ball over to their side of the table, and they don't hit it back, and it rolls down the hall, and I got to go chase the ball down the hall, and then I come and I set back up, and I hit the ball to them again, and they don't even try to hit it back. And it goes off the table, rolls down the hall, and I come and I do that 2 or 3 times. Guys, it's not fun. I don't want to play. Okay? You gotta find the people that want to play in your teams. And sometimes we want it so bad for somebody. We want them to succeed so bad that we're trying to drag them and pull them and prod them and make them do it. They gotta have the desire. Our goal is not to continually motivate people. Yeah, we can motivate each other. Okay, our goal is not to continually motivate people. Our goal is to find motivated people. That's what we want to do. Find motivated people. Find people that want it. Match energy for energy. You only have so much time in a day. Okay, and if you're spending time away from your family like I do, you got to make sure, like we all do, that we're putting that time and energy into people that want it. I don't even care if it takes somebody longer to get to the end result. If they have the desire and they're willing to put in if I go and I'm helping somebody on my team and we sponsor 10 people in a week, that's great. If I go with somebody else and we run around all week and we sponsor one, but we were trying and they were putting forth the effort. Guys, it's the effort that I care about because I know the numbers are going to come. I don't know why somebody sometimes sponsors, 10 people and they get 2 people that are just unbelievable, and somebody else sponsors 20 people, and they can't find anybody that really wants to get after it, matching. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes it does. Okay, but here's the thing that I do know, that if we go out there and do what we do and help people and help them grow, and once again, I don't care if somebody's part-time or full-time or whatever. I just care about them moving in a forward direction, and I'm going to match their energy for energy. Now, remember what your role is, guys, and this is key for people to understand their roles. You need to work closely with your sponsor and your team to help them go through this rain cycle. Make sure they're doing it. Okay, if you sponsor somebody new into the business, help them find that mentor. Okay, help them find somebody in their team or the organization that they can call every single day and see how it's going, how things are going. That they can be that person that holds each other accountable, that makes sure that they're being rain, and make sure that they're focused, that they're doing things on a daily basis if that's what their goals are. Okay, and so what you want to do is, if you're a sponsor or someone's mentor, your goal is to try to help them get results, ideally in the first 90 days. Okay, the best way to learn the business, though, guys, is not just getting on these webinars. It's not just going to the website and studying everything you can and going to Google and learning more about black cumin and all that stuff. That's fine. Okay, but it's actually getting out there and doing it. That's called networking. Okay, it's not net planning. It's not net reading. It's not net focusing or net dreaming. It's called networking for a reason. We got to get out there and work, and you're going to learn more about the business by getting out there and working than just by studying. There's a book out there that I love, and just the title of the book is in and of itself something that I love, and that is, you can't teach somebody to ride a bike at a seminar. You can't. Okay? You got to get on that bike and learn how to balance. You got to get out there and help somebody get their first couple of no's. Okay? And help them overcome that and get some results and see that success and have that something feed them that they want and build on that success to the next one. Okay? So what you want to do is, as these knowledge and skills are gained, you need to, as you get them from the rain cycle and your sponsor, you want to make sure that the duplication has happened. So let's go through this process real quick. Okay, so you're going to be obviously setting goals and making sure that you're doing so many meetings and bringing people to presentations. Like I said, if you want to be rain, you should be doing at least 4 presentations a week. And if you're full-time, guys, 4 presentations is not enough. I'm just here to tell you, it's not enough. If you're doing this full-time, you need to be doing more presentations than that on a weekly basis. Okay, so phase 1 is when you're new to the business, you have one goal, and it's not to teach people. It's not to present. It's not to do any of those things. Your goal is to do one thing, and that's become an expert inviter. And you want to do this for a couple of reasons. 1, because you don't know everything yet. 2, because if they ask you questions, you're most likely not going to be able to answer them. And it's because you don't want to be beat up by somebody because they think that they know more about this than you do. But another thing is guys, a lot of times we're not prophets in our own home. Hey, people know your successes, they know your failures. They're not going to see you as a professional, rain, partner. They're not going to see you that way. You need some third-party validation. Okay, you need somebody that in their eyes, they don't know any other way. So in their mind, they are the expert because they don't know them any other way. Okay, and so you want to make sure that your upline, somebody in your upline is handling your first few presentations. And what I tell people is remember not to interject or speak until directed. And so a lot of times one of my biggest pet peeves is when I'm trying to help somebody with a presentation, their job is to invite, but then they interject and the presentation takes twice as long as it should have because they're wanting to make sure that they present too. Well, that's not their role. Their role was to invite. And if they got somebody in front of me, then it's time for me to do my role, and that is to present and answer questions and resolve concerns and get them in the business, if that's what they want to do. So we want to make sure that people understand that. Now, I'm not saying that you can't, and you should. I should ask the person that that is the inviter to give their feedback on a point or two. Try to include them, and you're going to see that this is where it happened. But at the very beginning, guys, it's important that you do this. Okay, so now phase 2 is your upline is beginning to include you in the presentations. Okay, it's important that you begin to learn and assist your upline. So maybe you're focused on the product and your upline, and you switch at different points. When you're talking about the company, somebody else is talking about the product, somebody else is talking about timing, somebody else is talking about comp plan. Okay, but you're doing that, and so now you're assisting the upline, and the upline there is still there to support you and help you, and obviously you're there. Your job is to continue to edify your upline as well as the people doing the presentations. You know how much easier it is for the person presenting when that person's already been edified? And you know, when you say, "Hey guys, you have a chance to hear from somebody that's really one of the main reasons that I got into this business," you know, you're going to hear tonight from somebody that, dude, I'm excited to be working with, because you know you're going to see, even if they're not the best presenter, you're going to see. I actually like that sometimes when somebody's not a really good presenter, because they can see that, hey, this person's really not the best presenter, and they're still getting it done. They're still building the business. They're making it work. Hey, that's critical and pretty cool to see. So don't ever be ashamed. You want to edify. You guys, this guy is one of the most genuine people I've ever met. I mean, be sincere. But you know what? You just gave that person a lot of power now to go up there, and now when they're presenting, they have that credibility because you edified them and you built them up. All right? So don't underestimate the power of that. It's for your own good in your business, and that's why we can't tear down people and tear down our leaders or anything else. It only defeats the purpose of, you know, once again, then we're isolated. Okay, so phase 3. Now you have the tools, and you've learned from your upline, and maybe you've focused on some points, a few presentations, and other points. Now it's your turn to do the presentations for your downline. Now remember, these are people in your downline that don't know you, so they're your people's people. So now you can have that instant credibility. And the reason that this is important is because we should be doing more than just weekly meetings, guys. We should be doing one-on-one meetings all the time. We should be doing small in-home meetings if that's possible, if they have a place to accommodate that. But you want to do that because our goal isn't to have one weekly meeting a week or even 2. Okay, our goal is to have 50. Okay, not just one meeting a week where that's everybody's waiting for that meeting, because then once again, guys, the business is going to build slower. And by going through these phases and by the systems of duplication that we teach, you can get to a point where you have 50 meetings going on a week and then 50 meetings going on a day in your organization. Guys, I'm here to tell you, when that stuff happens, when you log into your back office at the end of every day and you see that 50 new people join your team that day, and then 100, and then 150 people are joining your team a day, guys, and that continues to grow. It's pretty exciting. But it can only happen if you understand the power of this apprenticeship process and passing the baton, passing the torch, people understanding their responsibility. Okay, now phase 4 is that now you've passed that, because your person, let's say that you've taught, is now doing meetings on their own and doing meetings for their people's people. The duplication has begun, and so you're the leader now, teaching others on to do the same thing. But that's the difference. Is the most important phase is phase 4, and that is that it didn't just stop with your person; that they're doing that same thing. So monitor that. Now you have some new people that you've joined, that you brought into the business, and you're taking them through these steps and through these processes. Don't just get in management mode where you sponsor these people and now all you're going to do is manage them. Okay, don't get in management mode. Okay, obviously you want to help manage them. Go get some new people. Continually sponsor. Remember, the most successful people in this industry master the art of 2 things. They master the art of recruiting, and they master the art of promotion. They're always promoting the next event. They're always promoting the next webinar, the next train. They're amazing promoters and they're amazing recruiters. Those 2 things, I found that the upper echelons, the top of the top in this industry, are masters of those 2 things. Okay, And so once again, it's good to know, because if you want to be the top of the top, and not just in range, I'm saying in the industry, those guys that can do that, or those ladies, or they're amazing. Okay, so the duplication has happened. So remember seeds always, and that it's a system. So you can see the 4 phases here, and you want to make sure, like I said, that you're personally sponsored, are out there doing it now, and then they're passing the baton forward, because that's the difference between direct sales and network marketing, as I always say. Direct sales, you're selling something directly to somebody, and that's it. You've got all these customers you're selling directly. That's direct sales. So you need to ask yourselves, what are you doing? Are you doing direct sales, or are you doing network marketing? Network marketing, the only difference between direct sales and network marketing is the equation, the one other thing added into the equation, and that's duplication. That's other people that are teaching other people that are teaching other people that are teaching other people, and so on and so forth, and they're following a system. So the lifestyle, this is one of the things that I like by Jim Rohn. He says, for things to change, you need to change, and for things to get better, you need to get better. So as we tell people, guys, it's not going to happen overnight. It happens a little bit at a time, doing the simple things every day, like I started this webinar saying. And so what you need to do is, guys, this is about you. As I've said before, network marketing is a business is personal development disguised as a business opportunity. I love that quote when I heard it the first time, because it is. We need to become better. You want to be able to manage tens of thousands of people in your organization. You're going to need to stretch. Okay? You're going to need to learn. You're going to need to grow. So there's 3 things that I'd say that I would recommend that you focus on a daily basis, that you need to feed. You need to feed your mind, your body, and your soul. And how fitting is that? Soul is one of our products. I love that. Okay, so make sure that you take time to read or listen to something from the company or the suggested reading material at least 20 minutes a day. Okay, make sure that you're a student of the industry, that you're learning about the company, and developing your personal character and leadership skills. It's going to happen as you do these things. Make sure that you're doing this, that you're feeding your mind the good things. Heaven knows, guys, we all get enough negative things in the world, enough bad things that we see, and guys, we need to be feeding our minds with good things as well. Okay, and we can do that. Another thing is, you need to be feeding your body properly. Be a product of the product. Use RAIN products daily. Use them. Be RAIN, as we talk about. Make changes in your lifestyle through exercise and proper nutrition. Okay, once again, you are a billboard for your own business, guys. Be that walking advertisement. Whether it's getting the swag that I talked about, the RAIN, branding yourself, whether it's having business cards, whether it's having product on you, whether it's that you went out there and you lost 10, 15 pounds, that's only going to help your business, guys. The lifestyle changes that you can make by making sure that you're being a product of the product. And here at RAIN, guys, we're focused on nutrition. People are going to notice that if you've made some lifestyle changes because of this company. Okay, and the other thing is the soul. Make sure that you review your goals that you've set in the RAIN cycle. Take time to frequently look at them, reevaluate them, adjust them if you need to do. Study, meditate, think of what your goals are. Ponder what you're going to be doing with your organization. Don't just wing it. Okay, and figure out how you're going to continually become better. Okay, and I like this by Gandhi. He says, a man is but a product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes, guys. So let's make sure that we're focusing on these things. Okay, and in closing, I just want to focus on this one last thing, crossing the Rubicon, that I like. And I'll kind of just read this little thing and then close it. But it said, in the year 49 BC, the Roman general Julius Caesar stood with his army on the banks of the Rubicon River. Okay, by Roman law, generals were forbidden to cross this boundary. To cross the river with a standing army was a declaration of war on Rome itself. Caesar was already facing removal from command and possible arrest from his rivals in Rome. His choices were clear. Await his arrest or take his army across the river and march on Rome. The general took his army across the Rubicon, and the decision was final. There's no turning back. And that's where that phrase comes, crossing the Rubicon. Making a decision, going across that bridge, you can't turn back now. Okay, you've already declared war on Rome. If you cross that bridge with your armies, it's done. Okay, so the question that I pose now is, do you want more out of life? What do you really want, guys? Are you ready for a lifestyle change? Okay, are you ready to make a commitment? And most of all, are you willing to fight for it? Because, guys, it's not going to happen without a fight. Okay, maybe it's a personal struggle that you got to go through. Maybe it's personal fears that you got to overcome. What is it that's holding you back? Get rid of it. What is it that's stopping you from going out there and really getting it done? Okay? Are you willing to fight for it? If you are, then you're ready for rain, guys, and it's time to cross the Rubicon. It's time to do it in your own personal life. Okay, so this is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the journey. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. One drop of rain won't do anything, but millions of drops will nourish and change the world. So guys, let's go make it rain. Seriously. Let's go make it rain. What's going on right now in this company is amazing. Okay? Do we still have our struggles? Absolutely. Do we still have some things that we need to overcome? Absolutely. Do we have a lot of amazing things happen? Absolutely. Is the opportunity one of a kind? Guys, there's nothing like it out there. As what we have right now is worth the fight. It's worth doing what we need to do to get where we need to get committed and get out there and make it happen. And so, guys, I want you to realize that this isn't just an opportunity. This isn't just a company. It's a lifestyle that you can embrace and make yours. I'm not saying change your life and change what you do. How can you implement rain into the things that you're already doing and create a culture in your team and your organization and friendships that are going to span across nations and across the world? And that's the beauty of this industry, is that we can take this and we can take people and we can help teach them and mold them and create them and reach their dreams. So guys, cross the Rubicon, do what you got to do in your life to get where you got to get, and go make it happen. And hopefully we'll all be hanging out together as we build this around the globe on the beaches of the world together. And I honestly look forward to the day when we look back, even in a couple of years, and I know we've got a long, bright future, but even in a couple of years when we look back and we can say, guys, look what we've done. Look what we've accomplished, everyone, because we all decided that we were going to be rain. We all decided we were going to go out there and make a difference. So I wish you the best. I wish you all the success. You can do it. I know you can. You can do it. I believe in you. And, because anybody can do it. If I can do it, guys, anybody can do it. You got to realize, once again, all of us come from different backgrounds and stuff. This can be learned. You can learn and grow. You just need to invest into yourself and make it a priority. So once again, thanks everybody. This is Byron Belka calling in from Springville, Utah. Wishing you all the success, and let's go make it rain. Take care, everyone. Good night.